And I think he's done this so much that he actually knows how to talk to people, and especially women, like, and he does it in a very kind-hearted way. He's not like egotistical. He has nothing, like, no ill will. He's just genuinely, he just knows how to talk to people. Anyway, every single one of these subscribers, every single one of these guys, totally, like, just, you know, nervous as heck, and like, and here I am watching this, and I'm like, oh man. Like, and I'll be honest, like, I never really said the exact same words that these guys say, but I can see, like, why they would say it. But I'm just sitting there, I'm like, oh man, please, like, for the love of the Lord, like, please, I hope this guy feels okay after. And it always bombs, basically, okay? It always bombs the first couple of rounds. But then something really interesting happens. After several rounds, okay? After like three rounds, okay? 3 rounds of approaching a woman, 3 different women, by the way, okay? Then these guys start feeling like, kind of like, they get a little sad, okay? Like, not sad like as in like depressed, but like just kind of disappointed, and they're like, man, I shouldn't have done that, or blah blah blah, right? Like, I should have said something different. Like, they truly feel like hurt, right? Like man, I don't like the rejection, but here's where I'm going with this, guys. They get to a point, every single one of them, they get to a point where they have nothing left to be heard about. They have nothing left to lose, okay? Like, they have their, you know, whatever, I wouldn't say dignity, but like whatever, like, self perception of who they thought they were before is completely gone at this point, okay? Whatever they thought they were, right? If they thought they were the ladies' man, if they thought they were like, you know, God's gift or whatever, you know, whatever thought they had, preconceived notions of themselves, who they were before, after those first 3 rounds, after realizing, you know what, I really wasn't those things, then they become super genuine. And then the 4th and the 5th time they approach a woman, they just talk very, like, kind of like, man, they have nothing else to, they're not there to prove anything. They're just there to genuinely want to ask a question and just want to get to know somebody. It's like, you know, I really thought you look amazing in this dress, you know, can I just like can I just like speak to you for a couple minutes? I don't know where you're going. I'm sorry if I'm bothering you, but I just want to spend a couple minutes getting to know you and just talk. That's it. I have no other intention. I promise you. I just want to like talk to you because you look so amazing in this dress right now, right? Or whatever it is that they're doing, right? And so it's a great realization of, this is the tactic, right? The tactic here that Mario Benedetti in this poem, very similar, right? My tactic is to be honest, to be simple, to be deeper, right? To be more genuine. It's a tough process that men go through. But once we do it long enough, then we realize I really have nothing to lose. The worst case scenario is, okay, I'm gonna get rejected, but so what? I'll just find someone else to talk to, right? Like really, that's kind of like the fear that men have to get over. Just get over those fears, get over those like things about yourself, and then just realize, just go and talk. Like, what's the worst that's gonna happen? If they don't want to talk to you, okay, then go somewhere else. Like, it's like, don't worry about it. Really, don't worry about it. And that's what I came to a realization late in my life, okay? I realized that, you know what? I have nothing to lose. If a woman doesn't want to talk to me, you know, and I approach her with true honesty and true genuineness, okay, If he doesn't want to talk, okay, well, that's fine. I'm going to go somewhere else and talk to someone that does, right? Because eventually someone will want to talk to me because they will see that I'm being honest. They will see that I have no agenda. They will see that I'm just trying to genuinely just get to know them, right? I'm not trying to have a marriage proposal. I'm not trying to have any other other type of strategy. I'm just trying to, my tactic is to be honest. My tactic is to be simple. My tactic is to be deeper. No pretext, no pre-illusions, just talk. That's my tactic. I'm just trying to talk. Period. And that's why I had to start this live with Mario Benedetti's poem. If you just tuned in to this live, welcome. We are reading poems by an Uruguayan poet. His name is Mario Benedetti. And the first poem that I read from him is My Tactic and Strategy. And I read it in Spanish first, and then I read it in English. So we're going to read some more Mario Benedetti poems, and I hope you guys are enjoying this podcast. And if you missed yesterday's, once again, you can go back to my account on Spotify as well as Apple Podcast and check those episodes out. All right? Okay. Welcome. All right, let's see what y'all have been saying. Once again, I don't mean to ignore anybody's comments. I just, as you all know, I get lost in sort of this analysis. And so I hope that you do enjoy these analysis and are, somewhat learning from it. And, you don't have to, but there you go. That's not, so I don't mean to ignore anybody's comments. I just get lost in my thoughts. Okay. That's one of the blessings and the curses of being a professor. But I swear I do love conversations. I really do, and I wish I could do more of it. But anyway, let me see what you guys have said. All right, Aubrey says that is rare and all a woman really wants. Sorry, yeah. And then true intentions are rare. I'm always on guard. Like, what are you up to? Being genuine, really, you can just tell, right? See, that's where the confidence level for men comes, right? When they're just truly just being they don't have any other agenda. You kind of have to have that attitude that I was just explaining before. If you don't want to talk to me, all right, goodbye, see you later, have a good day, right? And just move on to the next one, right? So that's really how I used to approach relationships. So, and anyway, and that's a great thing for me. Felt every word you shared. Yeah, thank you. So sorry to hear about your explosive. Yeah. Idiot. Goodbye. All right. So, anybody else ready for some more poems? All right. Let's see. I'm going to do another one by Mario Benedetti. Let me see if I can find the one I was referring to. Let's see. Ooh, I do have another good one here. Let me find the Spanish version real quick, and then we will get started. All right. Mario Benedetti. Okay, so this next one is titled Te Quiero. Now, in Spanish, that has two translations. The popular way of understanding Te Quiero means I love you. But the literal translation of it is I want you. Okay? Because the actual word phrase for saying I love you in Spanish is te amo. But through the years and through generations, younger generations, they sort of kind of like mixed the two now. So when you say te quiero, depending on the context and the person that you're talking to, it can mean I love you, and it typically does mean I love you. But once again, the literal translation of te quiero means I want you. Okay? So this one is titled I love you, but it should be titled I want you. So I'm gonna read the Spanish version first, and then we'll do the English translation right after that. All right, let me select the soundtrack for this one because this needs to be a good one. So all right, 1 second. Tus manos son mi caricia, mis acordes cotidianos. Te quiero porque tus manos trabajan por la justicia. Si te quiero es porque sos mi amor, mi cómplice. Y todo, y en la calle codo a codo, somos mucho más que dos. Tus ojos son mi conjuro contra la mala jornada. Te quiero por tu mirada que mira y siembra futuro. Tu boca que es tuya y mía, tu boca no se equivoca. Te quiero porque tu boca sabe gritar rebeldía. Si te quiero es porque sos mi amor, mi cómplice, y todo en la calle codo a codo. Somos mucho más que dos. Y por tu rostro sincero y tu paso vagabundo y tu llanto por el mundo, porque sos pueblo, te quiero. Porque amor no es aureola ni candidad, moraleja, y porque somos pareja. Que sabe que no está sola. Te quiero en mi mucho más que dos. All right, English time. All right, here we go. Your hands are my caress, my daily reminders. I love you because your hands work hard for justice. If I love you, it's because you are my love, my accomplice, my all. And out in the street, arm in arm, we are much more than two. Your eyes are my lucky charm against the bad days. I love you for your look that looks and seeds the future. Your mouth that's yours and mine, your mouth that's never wrong. I love you because your mouth knows how to yell like a rebel. If I love you, it's because you are my love, my accomplice, my all. And out in the street, arm in arm, we are much more than two. And for your honest face and your vagabond step and your weeping for the world because you're one of the people, I love you. And because love is not a halo or a naive morale, and because we are a pair and no, we're not alone, I love you in my paradise, by which I mean my country where the people live happily even without permission. If I love you, it's because you are my love, my accomplice, my all. And out in the street, arm in arm, we are much more than two. Come on, y'all. Tell me you didn't feel that one. You know that spoke to you. At some point it does. It is a very simple poem. Much more than two, right? Much more than two. You know, I'm sure y'all have heard of this before, but so this doesn't happen often, but when it does, you just know. Anyway, so I haven't had too much experience about this, but in the last 7 years at least, or 5 years, sorry, in the last 5 years, I've experienced being a power couple twice. And that obviously is defined differently for a lot of people. But there's something very common about, there's a commonality between, you know, the power couple definition. But it's not so much like the image-based power coupling of like how other people view you. It's more about like how you see each other. And that sort of gets lost in that definition, by the way, because we assume that, oh, everybody respects you, everybody loves you, everybody thinks you're like, you know, super successful and just like, you know, powerful in general, right? Like you have so much influence, so much materiality, all these things, okay? But nobody really talks about like in here, like the power in here, like the way you both complement each other, right? When everyone is down and the other one lifts you up, and then when that one is down and then the other person lifts you up, right? Like this is actually a very complicated process, and it takes a lot of time and a lot of effort to sort of lift each other up. But when that happens, you know, that's sort of like the power that I like to at least discuss and think about and analyze and like really dwell on that, because there's something to be said about how my companion will lift me up on the days that, you know, I don't feel my best, right? I don't feel like my best performance, my best efforts are here today. But I have you to basically motivate me, right? To lift me up and truly lift me up, right? Like not just say, oh, you'll get over it, honey. No. It's actually like sitting down, listening to them. And then after they've, you know, poured out whatever it is that was bothering them, then you can sort of console them and just let them know that, look, we're going to get through this together. Whatever it is, I'm going to be here. So let's do this, right? See, this happens a lot in like teamwork events, right? And, you know, when I was younger and I used to be part of some organized sports, you see that all the time between guys, right? And I'm obviously speaking from a guy here, but like you see this all the time, right? Like one guy will actually like, you know, defend you or like support you and like just kind of like motivate you to be better at your position, right? Whatever it is that you're playing. And so sure, there's gonna be some disappointments, but at the same time, like these guys are gonna have your back, right? Which is always one of the greatest parts about being in an organized sport. And so, you know, that's sort of like the power couple aspect that sort of gets lost. And so I've experienced that only twice in the last 5 years. And so the thing is, like, there's something that I learned from those relationships. Something that I didn't do very well, actually, which is why I learned afterwards. And this is probably one of the best advice I can give any man. So if you all know any guys, if you have any brothers or cousins or whatever that like are trying to understand how to be in a relationship, tell them this: whoever you were before you met your companion or the person that you're interested in dating, whoever you were before you met them, you need to be that same guy after. You see, guys tend to sort of like change because they want to continue to impress the girl that they're interested in, right? Because in their mind they're thinking, oh man, this girl, I can't believe she's interested in me, and so I'm going to try everything I can to sort of keep her. But see, that's the wrong mentality, because then that woman that actually was interested in you and like actually liked the attributes you had and why she was attracted to you in the first place, then when you change that, then she's going to be realizing, and she's going to think like, whoa, you know, that's kind of, you know, that's not really the guy that I really liked in the beginning, right? like obviously there's other factors in there as well, right? Other variables. But all I'm trying to say is, for guys, like, you need to be the same guy before and after, because that's who they liked and that's who they want you to be and continue to be, at least in the power couple relationships that I was referring to. And so that's kind of what I learned to do, and I absolutely have learned how to approach relationships now. And I like I said, like the guy who I am before I met a dear woman. I'm very genuine, I'm very honest, very loyal, very thoughtful, but also very decisive and intentional, purposeful, loving. And yes, I will create things for you because I want you to know how I feel about you. I may not do it all the time, but the times that I do it, you'll know that this took time from my time, took my time to do. And so that's how I'm going to be during and after. And she knows that, right? You know that. One little piece of example here that explains this concept a little bit more. So, I'm not a heavy texter. I just am not, okay? I don't really like live in my texting, which is obviously kind of funny because like I write poems, you know, occasionally, and I dwell in that area. But when it comes to texting, I don't even text my colleagues very much, okay? And that's including emails. But I mean, if it's important, then obviously, like, I'll definitely respond right away. But usually, I sort of take my time and, like, you know, if it's not that important, like, I don't really want to like text. I don't really want to email. You know, obviously, if it's my students and more professional work, you know, that's a very, very different purpose. And so, like, I have to do those. But in terms of like my recreational personal life, no, I'm not gonna do that. and so all I'm trying to say is, like, after I met my dear woman, then I'm not gonna change my habits of like texting her all the time just to let her know that, like, I'm thinking about her. No, she knows that I think about her. She knows, because the times that we do talk and we do interact, she knows. You know. Right? So I'm not gonna like continue to like text heavy. If you want me to, like, if you want to know how I feel about you, then yeah, just ask, right? Like, text a message saying, hey, I miss you, or how's it going, right? Absolutely, I'll respond to that, no problem, right? But I'm not gonna like give you like every single detail that I did during that day. I'm gonna reserve that for the times that we like talk face to face, right? Because it's a lot more like enriching, and it's like more, you know, fun things to talk about, and it's, you know, I rather like do that while you see my face, right? Because that's how I am. Like, that's how I am before, and that's how I'm gonna be after, period. You know, I'm not gonna change those habits, because I know that you like who I am before you met me, right? Like, before we dated. So therefore, like, that's who I'm gonna be, to continue to be. Now, if somebody is already a heavy texter, okay, I just want to clarify, if somebody is already a heavy texter and that's what you like, right? If that's the guy that you like, that it is like that, then yeah, of course, he should continue to be like that with you, because that's what you like, right? That's what you like about him. One of the things you like about him. Or whatever attributes he has, okay? Whatever he is, whatever he does, I don't know, whatever his personality is, you like, you were attracted to that. So therefore, he should continue to be like that after. Period. Right? So that's sort of like a confidence boost for men, and something that I learned late in my life as well. But, you know, like I said, I'm the same guy as I was a year ago, 2 years ago, same guy today, and most likely the same guy that I'm going to be tomorrow and a year or 2 years from now, right? So, I mean, yes, I will, you know, if things get serious, then like, yeah, I'm more than willing to like adapt and change for like, you know, living like with her, like, and you know, demographic wise, right, geographical location and things like that. That's something that we'll have to discuss, but the thing is, like my personality traits will be the same. Okay, that's what I'm referring to. Anyway. Good stuff. Mario Benedetti, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. All right. Let me read. Let me see. Okay, I'm going to read another one called Vice Versa by Mario Benedetti. And let me get the... 1 second. All right. Okay, here we go, guys. This is called Vice Versa, and I'm gonna read it in Spanish first, and then we'll do the English translation afterwards. Here we go. Tengo miedo de verte. necesidad de verte, esperanza de verte, desazones de verte. Tengo ganas de hallarte, preocupación de hallarte, certidumbre de hallarte, pobres dudas de hallarte. Tengo urgencia de oírte, alegría de oírte, buena suerte de oírte, temores de oírte. O sea, resumiendo, estoy jodido y radiante. Quizá más lo primero que lo segundo, y también viceversa. Vice versa, by Mario Benedetti. I have a fear of seeing you, the need to see you, the hope of seeing you, an unease about seeing you. Hunger to find you, the worry about finding you, the certainty of finding you, some slight doubts about finding you. I have an urge to hear you, the happiness of hearing you, the good fortune of hearing you, and the fear of hearing you. This means, in short, that I'm messed up and radiant. Perhaps more the former than the latter, but also vice versa. What do you guys think of that one? That one's, if you weren't paying attention to that one. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. Oh man. All right, and here's another one. This one's called Mario Benedetti. One second. Okay, so I'm gonna read another one that is titled Piedritas a la ventana, which means little stones at my window. Once again, Spanish first, then English. Spanish, English. You guys ready? All right. Give me 1 second while I look for a different tune here. Yes. This is the one. De vez en cuando la alegría tira piedritas contra mi ventana. Quiere avisarme que está ahí esperando. Pero me siento calmo. Casi diría guardar la angustia en un escondite y luego atenderme cara al techo, que es una posición gallarda y cómoda para filtrar noticias y creerlas. ¿Quién sabe dónde quedan mis próximas huellas, ni cuándo mi historia va a ser computada? ¿Quién sabe qué consejos voy a intentar aún y qué atajo hallaré para no seguirlos? Está bien que no jugaré al desjuicio. No tatuaré el recuerdo con olvidos. Mucho queda por decir y callar. Y también quedan uvas para llenar la boca. Está bien, me doy por persuadido que la alegría no tire más piedritas. Abriré la ventana. Abriré la ventana. Ready for the English version? Here we go. Once in a while, joy throws little stones at my window. It wants to let me know that it's waiting for me. But today I'm calm. I'd almost say even tempered. I'm going to keep anxiety locked up and then lie flat on my back, which is an elegant and comfortable position for receiving and believing news. Who knows where I'll be next, or when my story will be taken into account. Who knows what advice I still might come up with, and what easy way out I'll take not to follow it. Don't worry, I won't gamble with an eviction. I won't tattoo remembering with forgetting. There are many things left to say and suppress, and many grapes left to fill our mouths. Don't worry. I'm convinced joy doesn't need to throw any more little stones. I'm coming. I'm coming. Come on, y'all. Round of applause. Let's go. Isn't that so lovely? These take time to write. This is fantastic. Fantástico. Let's see. Are there any... Wait a minute, I'm not done yet. I was gonna take requests, but I still have a couple of Mario Benedetti poems to read, so just give me 1 second while I look something up, and then we'll get started. Alright, let's see, what else do we want to read from Mario Benedetti? I love his last name, by the way. This is such a great soccer name. If I was gonna play soccer again, I would... Well, actually, I'll take that back. I like my last name. But Benedetti's cool, right? It's like, I can hear the announcer. Oh, Benedetti is about to score. Benedetti. Anyway, I like that name. It's cool. In fact, you know what? I'm going to read it again. Let's read this one again, y'all. This is such a great poem by Mario Benedetti. You guys ready? Let's do this. My tactic is to look at you, to learn how you are, to love you as you are. My tactic is to talk to you and listen to you and construct with words an indestructible bridge. My tactic is to remain in your memory. I don't know how nor on what pretext, but to remain in you. My tactic is to be honest and to know that you are honest and that we don't sell each other fakes. So between the two of us, there is neither a curtain nor an abyss. My strategy is to contrast more profound and more simple. My strategy is that one fine day, I don't know how nor on what pretext, you will finally need me. You will finally need me, woman. My darling. My love. For all the men and the young men listening to this, remember who you are before you met the woman you are in love with, and continue to be that man after. Don't change, but make more time to be that loving, caring, listening, tender-hearted man that you are, but also very decisive, ambitious, goal-oriented, a provider, a protector, and a nurturer. If you already are a listening man, then continue to listen after. If you are a man of few words, then continue to be a man of few words. If you are affectionate, then continue to be affectionate. If you work hard, then continue to work hard. Simple plan. Anyway, that was titled Tactic by Mario Benedetti from Uruguay. Hope you guys enjoyed that one. Such a great poem. Love it. Love it. All right. So hopefully you guys are enjoying this podcast. We got a couple more poems that I'd like to read, and then I'm going to call it a night. So, and I realize there's some of you that are requesting some poems, but if you don't mind, let me just finish reading some of these from Mario Benedetti, because tonight is about Mario Benedetti, and so I want to make sure that I read all the ones that I find to be good ones from him, and then you can request your poems right after. All right, let me change the tune once again. I want to keep the sound background going while we are being immersed in Mario Benedetti. Obviously this is not Uruguayan music, but it's okay, because some of these poems that he wrote are meant to be immersed in the sentiment, right? So, all right. Give me 1 second while I get this ready to go, and we will continue the readings of the poems, y'all. I know I've said this before, but I really need an assistant. Come on, Blanquita, where are you? Gotta get over here and help me out with this. Okay, let's see. Yes, I remember this one. Okay, I remember. Okay, this is gonna be a good one. This is so Uruguayan, right? Watch this. This is so Uruguayan. Okay, so this next one I'm gonna read is titled "Let's Make a Deal," but in Spanish it's "Hagamos un trato." This is so Uruguayan. 1 second. Let me get the English translation real quick. 1 second. Some of these translations are awful. I don't like these guys. 1 second. Yeah, that's okay. I'll just do it myself. Okay. So this is called Hagamos un trato. Okay, so once again, Spanish version first, followed by English. Here we go. Hagamos un trato. Compañera, usted sabe, puede contar conmigo. No hasta 2 o hasta 10. Sino contar conmigo. Si alguna vez advierte que la miro a los ojos y una veta de amor, reconoce en los míos, no alerte sus fusiles, ni piense que delirio a pesar de la veta. O tal vez porque existe, usted puede contar conmigo. Pero hagamos un trato. Yo quisiera contar con usted. Es tan lindo saber que usted existe. Uno se siente vivo. Y cuando digo esto, quiero decir contar. Aunque sea hasta 5, no ya para que acuda presurosa en mi auxilio, sino para saber a ciencia cierta que usted sabe que puede contar conmigo. ¿Me entiendes, mi mujer? Eso es el trato. Si yo te amo, tú me amarás. Si yo te abrazo, tú me abraces. Si yo te quiero, tú me quieres también. Si yo pienso en ti, piensa en mí. Si yo te perdono, perdóname. Si yo te ayudo, tú me ayudas. Tú eres mi angelita, mi blanquita. Te amaré con todo mi alma, con todo mi ser, con todo mi esfuerzo. Jamás te sentirás sola, mi mujer, jamás. Tú eres mi corazón, cada pensamiento, mis palabras, mi orgullo. Me levantaré con el pecho al cielo cuando piso mi trabajo, mi recreación. Será porque yo te tengo a mi lado. Tú eres mi razón de vivir, de cantar, de besar, de hacer el amor profundo. Te quiero más de lo que piensas, pero hagamos un trato. Yo seré tu hombre. Yo seré tu ser. Yo voy a ser tu protector, tu proveedor. Yo seré el padre de tus hijos. Y cuando me miras a los ojos, verás un futuro de paz, de esperanza, de amor, de una seguridad indudable. Amor mío, eso eres tú. Estoy listo para ser tu marido, el padre de nuestros hijos. Tú eres aquí conmigo. Te amo, Blanquita. Te amo. I have to admit, that was probably one of the best Spanish improvs I've done in a while. That one's definitely going to be in the podcast, and I'm going to actually write that down and review this after this is done. Damn. Sorry, y'all, but that was fire, man. That was fire. Damn. Wow. Shoot, I didn't even do the English version. Sorry, y'all. All my Anglos, don't worry. I'm going to do the English one right here. I don't know if I can do the improv, but I'll do the English one right here. Okay? This one is titled, Let's Make a Deal. One second. All right. Let's make a deal. Partner, you know you can count on me. Not up to 2 or up to 10, but count on me. If some time shows that I look into your eyes and you recognize a streak of love coming from mine, don't alert your rifles, nor think it's delirium. In spite of the streak, or perhaps because it exists, you can count on me. If other times you find me shy without a motive, don't think it's feebleness. You can count on me the same. But let's make a deal. I would like to count on you. It's very beautiful to know that you exist. One feels alive, and when I say this, I mean counting, even if it's up to 2, or even if it's up to 5. Not just so that you respond hastily to my aid, but to know for certain that you know that you can count on me. You don't ever have to worry. I will be there when you need, if you need. You can definitely count on me. Let me read this one more time, actually. And I want to read it with this track in the background. Listen to these words one more time. I'm only going to do the English version. If you just came into the live and you want to hear the Spanish version, just wait until tomorrow morning and I'll post this live on my podcast channel. So I'll tell you the name of it afterwards. Listen to this. Let's make a deal. My partner, you know you can count on me. Not up to 2 or up to 10, but count on me. If some time shows that I look into your eyes and you recognize a streak of love coming from mine, don't alert your rifles, nor think it's delirium in spite of the streak, or perhaps because it exists. You can count on me. If other times you find me shy without motive, don't think it's feebleness. You can count on me the same. But let's make a deal. I would like to count on you. It's very beautiful to know that you exist. One feels alive, and when I say this, I mean counting. Even if it's up to 2, or even if it's up to 5. Not just so that you respond hastily to my aid, but to know for certain that you know that you can count on me. Woman, there is no need to live in fear anymore. When I give you my heart, it's for you. How can I give it to anyone else when you have it all along? When you feel tired, when you are facing challenges, I will be here for you. And I will listen and offer you words of wisdom. But more importantly, I will edify you so that you can face those challenges together. You have no reason to be alone anymore. I am ready whenever you are. I wait. With fervor. That's my deal that I offer. Oh man, the Spanish one is so much better. I'm so sorry. I have to admit, there's very few times when the Spanish improv actually like works and clicks. The English doesn't work. But I'll still post this. Anyway. Yeah. Alright, y'all. So, that was another great poem by the great Mario Benedetti. If you don't know who he is, if you just arrived into this live, seriously, you need to get an anthology. Go to your local library and just look up Mario Benedetti and read his works. You will not lose any of your time. You would have not wasted your time. He's great. He's amazing. So, put Mario Benedetti on your reading list, followed by Max Ehrmann, which was yesterday. If you missed that live, you definitely need to listen to that one. That one's episode 37. And that one's fantastic, y'all. You seriously need to listen to that post. It was so good. This one's episode 38, just so we're clear, okay? Anyway, I'll be posting episode 38 tomorrow morning, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Oh yeah, the name of the podcast is J. Roldan Speaks, and just look for it on Spotify or Apple Podcasts and you'll find it. You'll see my face, blah blah blah. Okay, so it's right there. All right, I am almost done for the night, y'all. Any requests? I'll definitely take some requests now. So if you have any requests, speak or forever hold your peace until I come back to another live. If I come back to another live, you never know, something might happen in between, so you might as well do it just now. Okay, let's just do it right now, just in case something happens. And no, I'm not being negative or morbid. That's just the way I like to think of things sometimes, and if this is the last time you'll ever see me, just know that I had a great life, happy life, and I absolutely had nothing but great times with my friends, family, and of course Blanquita. So canciones? Oh yeah, what was the name of the guy again? Sorry, I just been so working this whole week, man. So sorry. Did you mean like canciones like to read or like to sing? Because I definitely I didn't practice enough. What's his name? Juanes? Or I forgot his name. Jose, that's right, yeah. Yeah, I wish I would have practiced this more. I just didn't, sorry. But maybe one of these nights, one of these lives, I'll bring out my Macarena. Macarena is the name of my guitar, just so we're clear. Is there a particular song you want me to read from him? I'll definitely read it, but I won't be able to sing it, sorry. Oh man. Is there a particular song? Would you mind tell me the name again? Sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm dropping the ball tonight, y'all. It's late. It's 1:30 for me here in the East Coast, so. Oh man. Plus all the other stuff I had to do. So. Anyway. Alright, I'll wait. In the meantime, once again, if you are curious to know about my podcast channel, it is J. Roldan Speaks. Once again, it's on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Just search it. You'll see a image and you'll see me behind the mic. So shouldn't be too difficult to find it. Quiero perderme contigo. Oh, yes. Okay. Quiero perderme contigo. Letras. I don't know what sort of like style this is, so I'm gonna just like wing this one. I'm definitely not gonna use this background, but let me see if I can find something that could be a little bit more ambient, parallel the ambience for the song. So 1 second. Let's see. This will have to do. Okay, so this one's titled Quiero Perderme Contigo by Jose Jose. And this will have to be only in Spanish, unfortunately, because I guess I can translate it too. Let me see what I can do, okay? All right, and then we'll do Aubrey's Elizabeth Browning, If Thou Must Love Me. All right, here we go. Me da coraje verte, igual que un simple amigo, y hablar de lo preciso delante de la gente. Me da coraje verte después de una mañana de loco amor sin pausa y hacer que no nos vimos. Me pongo como un loco y se me va la vida al ver que te acarician delante de mis ojos. Tenerme que callarme, decirte hasta mañana, pensar que allí en la calma disfrutarás de sin mí. Quiero perderme contigo, como se pierde el horizonte, como las aves en la noche, como la estrella sonidos. Y jamás separarnos, jamás, para nunca jamás. Quiero perderme contigo y verte junto a mí al despertar. Me da coraje verte igual que un simple amigo y hablarte de lo preciso delante de la gente. Me da coraje verte después de una mañana de loco amor sin pausa y hacer que no nos vimos. Me pongo como un loco y se me va la vida al ver que te acarician delante de mis ojos, tenerme que callarme, decirte hasta mañana, pensar que allí en la calma disfrutarás sin mí. Quiero perderme contigo, como se pierde el horizonte, como las aves en la noche, como la estrella en los sonidos, y jamás separarnos, jamás, pero nunca más, jamás. Quiero perderme contigo como se pierde el horizonte, como las aves en la noche, como la estrella y los sonidos, y jamás separarnos, jamás. That's a good song. I like that. Alright, I'll try my best to translate this, but I don't know if it's going to do it justice, but we'll see what happens. Alright, so I want to get lost in you, with you. It gives me great courage to see you the same way, like a simple friend, and talk and have conversations of precision, of preciseness in front of people. It gives me courage to see you after a morning of pure, crazy love without pause, and to do it as if we haven't seen each other. I get a little crazy and my life goes away from me. I can't say that in English. I don't know how to say that in English. To see that it caresses you in front of my eyes. To have you instead of quieting me, to tell you good night and to think of you in the calm you will enjoy without me. I'm gonna stop right there. I need to read this a little bit more so I can translate it a little bit better. Anyway, it's a good song. All right, so let's do Elizabeth Browning. Let's see, it was If Thou Must Love Me. Okay. I think I know the perfect song for this one. Let me instrumental. Is this the one? Let's see. Wait. There we go. So this is Sonnet 14 by Elizabeth Browning. If thou must love me, let it be for naught, except for love's sake only. Do not say I love her for her smile, her look, her way of speaking gently, for a trick of thought that falls in well with mine and certes brought a sense of pleasant ease on such a day. For these things in themselves, beloved, may be changed or change for thee, and love so wrought may be unwrought so. Neither love me for thine own dear pity's weeping, wiping my cheeks dry. A creature might forget to weep, who bore thy comfort long, and lose thy love thereby. But love me for love's sake, that evermore thou mayest love on, through love's eternity. Of course, you can never go wrong without Elizabeth Barrett Browning. This woman is fantastic. She is absolutely in my top 5 favorite poets of all time. Greatest respect and admiration for this woman. Her husband was definitely a lucky guy. And she wrote that to her husband, by the way. Okay? Her husband's Robert Browning, who was another great poet. One of these nights, I'm actually going to spend a live on just Robert Browning stuff. So he's a fantastic writer. He really is. But for me, Elizabeth Browning has this really great way of inserting this genuine intellectualism in every single phrase that she writes. This woman took time to write these poems, by the way, okay? Like, seriously, a lot of time. If you actually read her biography, you will definitely find out why she had such a great time and why she spent her time wisely writing these poems. Most of the time she was actually traveling. Just to kind of give you, I'll just go ahead and tell you. Most of the time she actually traveled to do her presentations, her lectures, because she was that well respected in Europe. She was by the way, she was second in line to being a poet laureate in United Kingdom. And that's a big deal. UK still has that, by the way, okay? The poet laureate is an actual prestigious position. It's actually a political position, to be quite honest. But obviously, he or she doesn't have the same amount of power as, a senator would. But they still are influential, right? They're given the task, the responsibility, by the way. Look, the whole point of having a poet laureate in any nation, okay, in any culture, is so that person can actually carry the culture, the traditions, the mentality of the country that you represent. I forgot to add this little piece of detail. See, Mario Benedetti, okay? I'll finish my biography of Elizabeth here in just a second. But Mario Benedetti actually was part of an organization in Uruguay called Generación 45, and that means the generation of 45. And that was because back in 1945 there was a literary movement that wanted to sort of continue and strengthen Uruguayan culture, okay? Because Uruguay was getting a lot of immigrants from Italy and some of the other nations, and so Uruguay wanted to sort of maintain their identity, right? Like, what makes them Uruguayan? Because a lot of people tend to confuse them with Argentinians because they kind of sound alike. But Uruguay is very, very unique in the sense that they have their own sort of phrases and mentality and habits, things like that. Anyway, so Mario Benedetti was one of the people that continued the tradition of carrying the culture of Uruguay, which is why he's such an important Uruguayan poet, and Latin American too, by the way. So anyway, that's the idea of poet laureate. Uruguay doesn't have a poet laureate, okay? But England still does have one. The United States has kind of one. It's not to the same level as the United Kingdom, but we do have one here, and I forget who the current one is. But anyway, Elizabeth Browning was second in line to being poet laureate, and the actual poet laureate during her time was Tennyson, and of course that guy is just amazing. So if you're gonna be second in line to someone, might as well be like second in line to one of the best poets that ever lived, right? So she's definitely an accomplished woman for sure. Anyway, she traveled frequently, and while she was traveling, she would write these poems to her husband because that's how much she loved and missed him so much. So by the time she would be back to see him face to face, then she would have finished writing these poems. And so these poems were written on a ship called the Portuguese. And so all of these sonnets that you read, that you hear about from Elizabeth Browning, are from the Portuguese, the ship that she was on. So anyway, in case any of you need to know that. All right, I am seriously tired now. I hope all of you enjoyed this podcast. I'll be posting this tomorrow morning, so be on the lookout for that. This was a great live, and I hope you guys enjoyed Mario Benedetti and his works, and I hope that it speaks to you somehow. And so whatever it is that you're going through, whatever challenges you are facing, just know that there's some good, wholesome content available for you. And I'm not talking about my live here. I'm talking about the actual poems, okay? These amazing poets spent hours and hours and hours of their time to write this material. And they write it for us, okay? They write it for us so that they can basically remind us of who we are as people, right? As human beings. We are such a unique creation, and we have these really, really special attributes that no other species has, okay? And that's not to belittle the other species, okay? Like, I love animals, don't get me wrong, okay? But we're not at the same level. I'm sorry. And so I want poetry and others to listen to these great works of art. And so whatever it is that you're going through, if you feel lonely, if you feel anxious, if you feel excited, if you feel joy, just know that all of these great masters of poetry, they write some beautiful words. And so we need to be surrounded by, we need to be immersed in all of these great works, okay? So please take the time to read these poems on your own, okay? Don't just rely on me, okay? I'm not here to you guys need to do this on your own. You need to have that motivation. I'm just here to remind you of these great works of art. That's it, okay? I don't do this for any monetary gain. I don't do this for popularity. I just simply do this to counter the questionable material that's online now. So this is a place that is wholesome, and I want this place to remain a wholesome content. So I want to say thank you so much for all of your comments. I want to say thank you so much for following me, I guess. I want to say thank you so much for the likes, things like that. But I want to say thanks in particular because you now have been exposed to some great poetic context or content, and so it is now up to you to read them. All right, and this was an absolute pleasure. In case I don't see you tomorrow or the next live or whenever, my life is absolutely fulfilled, and I have nothing but great thoughts and sentiments for my friends and my family, and just for the woman of my dreams. So, te quiero mucho, Blanquita. Anyway, we will see all of you hopefully sometime soon. Buenas noches a la comunidad hispana. Latina, no me gusta esa palabra hispana, pero voy a decir muchas gracias a todos ustedes. Estoy muy agradecido como siempre. Espero que lo disfrutaron de este live. Espero que aprendieron algo, que apreciaron algo. Y bueno, quiero motivarlos a todos ustedes que lean poemas, por favor. No tienen razón, no tienen ninguna razón para no leer un poema, ¿cierto? Mira, haz un tiempo, ¿cierto? O sea, inventa un tiempo para distraerte un poco y tener un tiempo para leer poemas, para disfrutar de estas palabras. Ustedes saben que hay mucho contenido en línea que es, bueno, basura. En realidad es basura. Así que, bueno, si eso es lo que ustedes aprecian, continúen con esa basura. Pero no se dan por sorpresivo si se sientan mal. Se sientan mal porque están consumiendo basura. Y lo voy a decir bien directo a ustedes. Así que si quieren evitar sentir desesperados, sentir solos, sentir que no eres significante, entonces consume algo más bueno para ti. Consume algo buenísimo para ti. Consume contenido que es agradable, que es edificante, que te hace sentir y recordar que tú eres un ser humano con atributos celestial. Somos hechos por un creador que es magnífico, que es amor y también justicia. Y ese creador te diseñó a ser amado, te diseñó a ser un amador, que te diseñó a sentir, tener una vida con mucho propósito. Así que consume contenido bueno para tu corazón, ¿cierto? All right, everybody. Thank you so much for all of your lovely comments, all these things. Hope you have a great night and stay warm, and whatever it is that you do tomorrow, do it with a lot of heart and a lot of purpose. All right? I'm gonna go sleep now. Buenas noches.